Some of them were asking, are you sure? Why are men and why are you guys in the business? Leave it to the women to solve it. But why not? Men can solve the problem just as good as others. I'm David, age 34.
I'm Chileong, age 39.
We are entrepreneurs creating lactation products.
Here are some stereotypical statements from the internet.
And we are here to comment on them. Breastfeeding in public shouldn't be allowed. I would say, why not? If you feed your baby with a bottle, why can't you feed your baby publicly from your own body? Men have no concept of how to design things for the home
Women should design things they use.
I think there's no gender when it comes to design.
Home is for the man, for the woman, for the babies, for the loved ones. So everyone has a say to do things they like and love the family. Men don't know about the woman's body and how it works. It's not about man or woman, it's about learning, it's about listening and showing empathy to how a woman is behaving, is changing when they turn from a pregnant mommy to a nursing mommy.
Men need to listen better to women. And that's what we did at Tuna Guys. We listen to the breastfeeding mummies to produce products that works for them.
My wife has challenges producing breast milk. So at that time, being a male, it's probably one of the most helpless time. Helpless, useless. So that was a challenge. And until when I met David, we decided to start a business venture.
There was really a problem we wanted to solve because we feel it's, number one, not addressed properly. There was a lack of products, too limited of choices in the market for mummies to consume and boost their milk.
What we did is that, hey, I am roasting nuts at home for home consumption. So I told him, hey, how about let's do this? I roast nuts and then we start R&D this process. As we read and research, we know that almonds are galactagogues that mummies can consume to boost milk at the same time, not gaining extra calories. Knowing nothing about breastfeeding helps a lot because we don't have presumptions of how breastfeeding should be. We go in with an empty mind, just like a blank piece of paper. So we interview many mummies.
The R&D process was one of the most challenging ones. Collecting feedback, every single answer, I had to analyze things.
And a lot of thinking is really to think about what questions we want to ask. Because those questions is not really about the business, it's about the mommy. What do they really need, what works for them and what don't. I must say, when we first started, the mummies are super supportive. They do not have any stereotypes about collaborating with two dark guys or two guys. So they give a lot of positive feedback and very constructive feedback.
We will really be relentless because we really want to solve the problem for breastfeeding mummy. So we keep testing and we're very thankful for the mummies who started this with us.
Many of the mummies are still within our chat group. So we still ask them, hey mummy, do you have any advice for us? Do you have any comments? Do you have feedback? We still test our products with them. So they truly help us to get to where we are now.
When we first sent the first few versions to the mummies, we surprisingly received a top complaint is, hey, my husband finished it before I did. So okay. So the husbands also enjoy it. So we kind of go, okay, so men actually like this as well. That's when we knew, hey, actually it's a family product. It's going beyond breastfeeding because all the ingredients we use, right, the whole family can consume and enjoy it. One of the most meaningful and motivating time was when we received photos and videos from mummies about the before and after consuming our products. Not many men and people understand how much these things means to a mummy. It could seem very simple, nothing impressive, but it's how difficult it is for mummy just to squeeze out that breast milk. When it got increased by 10, 20 ml, it thickens by 11 a little bit, right? It means so much to mummies and that brings us a lot of joy.
And mummies call breast milk liquid gold. So you imagine how precious it is for them. There was one time when we first created our almond milk because it's so hard to make. Every week we can only produce 10 or 12 bottles. So our products are sold out for the next 4 to 5 weeks. So there was a mummy who texted me and said that, hey, can I buy X number of milk? So I told her it's sold out. I would love to provide for you, but we have challenge doing it. And I asked her, why do you need this milk? So she told me she's pregnant now. The baby is severely underweight. So the doctor advised her to consume food with good fats. So David and I discussed, okay, let's work OT tonight. So we started roasting, blending, and I provided her 3 bottles of milk. In the next 6 weeks, she delivered. And one of the mornings, she texts me, thank you for helping us to solve a very, very expensive problem, because if they need to go NICU, it's going to cost them a lot of money. By receiving that, I am super touched. So I think that's a very important milestone that we have crossed. It's not only about running a profitable business, but a business that can truly touch people's life.
I recall when we started, some of them were asking, are you sure? Why are men and why are you guys in the business? Leave it to the women to solve it. But why not? Men can solve the problem just as good as others.
When I told my family, my mom, who is more senior, my mom is like, breastfeeding, I don't even do breastfeeding. I've got 3 kids, I don't do breastfeeding. She always asks me, Chin Leong, you sure you know what you are doing?
Same for my family members and friends, like question mark popping up.
Huh?
Why are we even doing this as a man? We don't even have the glands, right?
But super grateful to have friends and family who is supportive of guys in a more feminine industry. I have faced different kind of responses. Some roll their eyes. There was a post on social media about us. So when I start looking at the comments, I saw capital letters like EWWWW. It's like people feel disgusted. Emotionally, it doesn't affect me anymore. I think the purpose of Tuna Guys is larger than the hurtful comments that we receive. Some guys are not familiar with what does breastfeeding means, what's lactation. Speaking to them, we know that this market is not very well educated. So it's our mission, it's our job to educate people how important is breastfeeding and how important is it to do it properly. Now, people that I know that I do this, sometimes they'll ask me, like when their wife delivered, the first thing they came to us is like, hey, what should I do? I feel very proud, to be able to help a fellow guy to handle questions like this and to be more involved in the breastfeeding process.
What would I say to the naysayers? Well, I would say try putting yourself in the shoe of a breastfeeding mommy. Imagine waking in the middle of the night every 2 hours breastfeeding your baby. Think about it and display some empathy for them.
I'll ask them get a life. If there's any guy who are interested to go into a more feminine trade, have a chat with us. We can share our experience. Come to our nut lab, chit chat over coffee, over our nut butters. Happy to share ideas, because people who are like this, who are very creative, wanting to do something extraordinary, we draw a lot of energy from them as well. It's always good for people who are in the business to bounce ideas.
And those who are contemplating of going into industry that's generally perhaps more female dominant or male dominant, doesn't matter what gender you are, follow your customers, listen to their voice. If you can create a service or a product that meets their need, you'll go far.